It all goes back to one. Here is why. Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to the Manifest on Purpose show. I am the host of that show, Kimbaley. I am here to help you elevate your mind to a higher state of consciousness or a higher state of awareness. Welcome so much to the channel. Welcome so much to the platform. Thank you for all of those you've invited to come. And thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley. Kimbaley.com. The God in me loves the God in you. Today we're going to talk about one. I bet you're wondering what that's all about. And I promise I will not keep you waiting for too long. Let's hear our Astro-Numerology forecast for today first, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It is Monday, February the 10th. The sun is in Aquarius, the moon is in Cancer, moving into Leo at 12:01 p.m. It's an 11 universal month, a 4 universal week, a 3 universal day. If you're about the business of making a change of a significant nature, today would be the best day to do so. It's important you have plans of what needs to get done by adding a bit of creativity and imagination to the mix and come up with the right formula for your success. Even more importantly, on a day like this, cosmically speaking, is to ignore or even better yet, stay as far away as possible from all the doubters and naysayers. It's not your problem if they can't see any further than their noses and beyond. However, if you need anyone in your corner that seems to intuitively understand your intentions, they're likely to be born under the zodiac signs of Pisces or Sagittarius, and anyone born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, and 30th of any month. Once again, that is the Astro-Numerology forecast for today, and that's courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. Make sure you download the app. Go to the App Store or Google Play. You can also go to Linktree/numbers and you and a star8.com. And you're not too late to join this month's Power Series, which is going to be the power of relationships. You can also check that out on Linktree/numbers and you. And you will find that link in the description box as well. And also make sure you check out Kimbaley.com. That's Kimbaley.com. Now I'll get into my story. This is a recent story. This is something that happened last year. There was an event that I attended, and it just so happened that I was invited to speak at this event. I gave a speech, and not only did I speak, at the end of my speech, I led the audience into a guided meditation. This is not unusual for me. I usually do this event at least once a year, and I do it the same way. So I thought nothing of it after that. And when it was time for me to go home, I went on home. And a few months ago, I attended another event. And at this event, I was placed into a group in a breakout room, and I had to speak to the group. And one of the ladies in the group said, "Hey, that voice sounds familiar." I was a little shocked to hear her say that, and I thought to myself, "Who is this person?" You know how when someone approaches you and you may have not seen that person in a long time and you kind of forget their name or forget them, but you don't wanna let them know that you forgot? So I'm trying to think who this person was. And I was like, "Oh, where did you hear me at?" And she went on to tell me that during the time of the event, she was really going through some challenges in her life. And she said that the meditation brought about transformation in her life because it actually was a way for her to still her mind and to gain clarity. So I was very excited about that. And one of the reasons why I was so excited about it is because I feel like it's my purpose to help people transform into their highest potential. And that starts at one person at a time. For me, that was confirmation. But it also made me think about some other things. One of the first things I thought about was, man, that meditation was good. So make sure you shop Manifest on Purpose and get your guided meditations. But anyway, the other thing that I thought about is how we all connect to one another even though we don't recognize it, even though we may not be able to feel it or see it, we all connect to one another and we all connect to everything that's in existence. And there's proof in that. The proof is in the universal laws. Today, what I want to talk to you about is the universal law of divine oneness. And it's no mistake that this law is the very first law. Let's look at what a universal law is anyway. Universal means anything in existence, anything in our physical reality, anything that falls under the guidelines of the universe. The laws are the boundaries. These laws dictate the flow of the universe, and everyone and everything in the universe are bound by these laws, whether they know it, whether they are even aware that these laws still exist. Just like look at the law of gravity. It does not matter if you do not know the law of gravity. What goes up must come down. It's a law. Same thing with the universal laws. Our universe flows based upon these laws. And now we're going to get into the very first law, the law of divine oneness. And I'm just going to take a moment to read this law to you before we go any further about it. The law of divine oneness. It says the first and most foundational law of the universe is the law of divine oneness, which highlights the interconnectedness of all things. It says that beyond our senses, every thought, action, and event is in some way connected to anything and everything else. That is a lot said there. That means that we're connected to anything and everyone in the universe. Everything that's in our universe, we need it to survive. Let's think about the trees. Most people are not to the point where they can sit down and be in gratitude about the trees, but they just don't understand what the trees do to the ecosystem. If you think about the rainforest and look at some of those documentaries, they talk about these extinct animals and how they are causing problems in the rainforest because they are so few at this time. So everything in the universe is needed for our growth and their life sustaining things. Can you imagine what it would be like on hot, sunny days and you can't find a tree in sight? Or where would the birds go? And let's look at something else. You're even connected to that coworker that gets on your last nerve, or you're even connected to that person that you have a problem with. In a nutshell, this says that if you have a problem with something else or someone else, there's also a problem within yourself that you need to define because we're all made of the same creative source. No matter what you think that source is, it could be God, it could be Allah, it could be the Buddha, whatever that source is. It could be just energy to you. Whatever it is that is responsible for creation, we all have a part of that within us. And it's about time for a change because a lot of times when you're upset with people and when you're angry with people or things don't go the way that you want them to, you hold back your own growth. You hold back the desires in which you are seeking to manifest. You hold back yourself. You do nothing, absolutely nothing to the other person. But what you do for yourself is you cause a distraction in your mind that keeps you from focusing on your own growth. Simply, people are who they are. Who knows that person that you're having problems with may be the person that can help you get to the next level. But you have to have an open mind to be able to see that. Our world is quickly transforming and we see it right before our very eyes. What is it going to take for things to get better? We're not even sure if things will get better and how much better they will be. But what we do have control over is ourselves. If each person look at every person and see that they are interconnected with that person and treat that person as such, then it'll create a better world for us. Humanity will grow so much further. That's why I say the God in me loves the God in you, because we still, even though we're different and individuals, we have that same spark within ourselves. So when I look at you, I'm looking at me. And when you look at someone else, you should be looking at you because they are your mirror reflection. There's a technique that I learned from Wayne Dyer. He said that he practiced every time he would see someone else. He would look that person in their eyes and he would, to himself, greet the spirit inside of that person. And he said that really changed his life. So that's one tip or technique that you can use. Make sure that when you see people, recognize that spirit in them. Recognize that you are connected. Whenever you are thinking something that is judgmental, make sure you stop to yourself and let yourself know that's judgmental. If you're treating that person bad, then you're treating yourself bad. And another thing that I want to let you know before I close this out is it's okay to love from a distance. Back where I grew up, there was a saying that we used. Sometimes you have to feed a person with a long handled spoon. It may not be easy to get along with everybody, but sometimes you have to pull away to protect your own energy. You don't stop loving that person. You don't change the way you feel about that person, but you have to protect your energy, the spirit within you. And in due time, perhaps things will come back together the way that it could be. But if not, you've protected yourself. Remember, forgiveness is for you. So this is not holding grudges. This is stepping back to protect your energy. And that's okay to do. There may be times when you feel challenged or frustrated in your life, but that's not for everyone to see. Whenever you're feeling like that and you're around other people, don't let it show, because it all comes back to one. The energy that you put out is the energy that will return. That day when I guided the meditation, I wasn't feeling the best myself, but I didn't let it show. I gave it all I had. And I'm glad I did, because even in that state, I was able to help someone else that was going through something as well. In my closing, I want you to consider something. The law of divine oneness is not one for no reason. It's not the foundational law of the universe for any reason. This law should not be ignored. So from now on, be a little more compassionate. Be open to hear people out. Be of service to others. Because as I said before, believe it or not, aware of it or not, it all comes back to one. The God in me loves the God in you.